Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your first style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class. Commando. Deadeye. Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Sentinel. Saboteur. Psy-Freak. Commando. Saboteur. Saboteur chosen. That'll work. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you, Your inner voice, to be precise. An echo of the balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
Can't believe you'd choose that thing over me. But I'll be here waiting for you when you have a change of heart.
That thing? I'm right here. Let me remind you, we're two halves of the same, with the difference being I'm the better half.
Better half. My way is both better and brighter. Light makes it easier to see the best end.
The best end is the one you decide yourself, and it seems we're headed in the right direction.
Guess left can be right sometimes. Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die. That's going to leave a mark. The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death. But some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Might want to fall back. Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Slice and dice. The scrap keeps piling up. Buffer than ever. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and, without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. There you go. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Took care of it. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives.
Candida duela bofo.
He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why.
Bilia antuf.
He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up.
Bilia antuf.
He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed.
Maoto liawahu.
There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true.
Ba loyalu.
The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad.
Kusata ghetto.
The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past.
Luatolu tum.
There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end.
Yeah, mufurbo. Bumo.
He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have.
Le yayato.
It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land.
Lotu lu bayo.
Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree. Asks if you are tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source of ki. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding. You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's ki energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. Only time will tell. At least his intention is to dedicate his life to it. He has the feeling the fate of the world depends on it. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the primal energy. You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree. Now that you've seen the Nonno's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the Pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our village's sake, but for all of us, everyone. One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able to protect us. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today. That's not true. She's the reason there's still unity, and the only one strong enough to keep the 6 Wang Fu disciples disciplined. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain. The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the Worldeaters arrived. The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse that Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land set the Worldeaters' DNA into overdrive. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the Worldeaters. There's one at the end of each route. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the Worldeaters. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the Worldeaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the Worldeater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. It's a bridge. Just get over it. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the Worldeaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
Ah! That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts to look at.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to pretend it's not.
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important. Out-of-Date says you will make a better stand against the Worldeaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby. The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a code of honor. Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the Worldeaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the Worldeaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way.
Maotoliawaho.
Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side.
Ugambun ang ugagad yebroma bufu.
He believes the tribe Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part.
Ugambun ang ugagad yebroma bufu.
Out of Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded. Slash and dash. Now that's a flesh wound. This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone. That's the Myriad tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. He let you in, but thinks you should be patient when it comes to the Sifu.
Pipi. La fanen aginkan man. Karatna fal hutut mustugai la wute.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the Worldeaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great... He heard you took out-of-date side against the scavengers in Bunker 101. It seems you believe in helping your next, and that's something you have in common. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples. Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally, it consisted of unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor. If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow. You'll unite the tribes and defeat the Worldeaters to save the Tree of Life. He was hoping you'd join them. You understand that there's no harm in doing good to others. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you should coerce first is the Jagni tribe. Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both have gentle minds, so they want to wage a gentle war. A war that bonds as much as it breaks. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn... Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with yours and let your kin share land again. Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. He remembers your kind and unselfish soul and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good. Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can sometimes come to life. Passing the old village on your way to the first rival outpost might help. You have things to do, places to go to. Says...
moto?
You have things to do. Place.
Platz?
It's time for you to That's interesting. Says the shop holds something for everyone, especially you. Fair trade. Claims to have straight. The gatekeeper welcomes you back to the fort. Let's see. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. He understands Wang Fu is hard. That's why your Muma only has 6 disciples. Doing just one thing helps you get more done in less time. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. Why not? There's no better time to do what needs to be done than right now. He says that wasn't too bad, was it? He says a feeling that you're going to drown is a great reminder of the need to learn how to swim. But you need practice, lots of practice. Judging by your Mooma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. The dedication to training is important. You can't rely solely on the fact that Wang Fu is in your blood. You should know, practice makes perfect. She'll see you at the village square. She'll be waiting for you. There will be a surprise for you at the... Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. It's your own future you're risking by not caring for the environment. The next generation... You should look for things that are recyclable. It shouldn't take you too long to find some. He wonders what usefulness you found. He says every little thing counts. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. That's the spirit. You can't make a difference unless you get your hands dirty. He'd love to teach you to upcycle, and the scrap you found would be a good start. You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He says you don't really need a weapon when you're born one. He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square right away. Then you've got a good excuse. You share a responsibility to prevent hardship on nature and the environment. It's your future. She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone. That's all she's ever asked of you, that you'll try and give it your best. You can't do more than that. You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her. They look determined. Better watch out. He says that it's not too late for you to turn back, though. There's no way they'll let you pass.
Ea e titifaga, saluto.
He wants to know who you think you are.
Amawana.
You'll have to face pain at some point. He offers to...
Bola kudo.
She asks if you're hurt. What happened?
Puri kumbala muma.
She's there for all disciples. That's her commitment as Sifu. And when she needs them, they're there for her and each other.
Kana munta.
The most important thing is that you're okay.
Kana munt.
It's time to focus on your training now. Is someone close to heart, doing what he does best? He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training. He'll talk to her, sure, but you know she wants you to accept responsibility for your own actions and future. He suggests you get going and find him gadgets and ideas for how you can upcycle some old fabrics. He's curious to see what you found. He's all for renewal and has even considered making the trip out into the wilds to look for a bionucleus pool and refresh his DNA. He says it's about time you learned how and offers to teach you, starting with the scrap you found. The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you. You should take it with you, wear it to practice. He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this. Your Muma says, hopes you're as ready as you claim to be. She says she is eager to get started. You don't have much time left before the...
Asil natu.
Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Asil natu.
Thanks you for being such a good student.
Antoro.
Been working on a present for you, with the help of Gizmo and Wiz.
Yo no massaman wirud.
You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it. Catchy.
Kala.
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little thing. It's wonderful.
Verena masalapu.
A piece of Scraptronics like this has built-in old-world tech that makes it a potent communication device.
Dropalu.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see whatever you see.
Dropalu.
You're lucky to have such a fine helper with you.
Kalino?
Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day.
Monibasa.
She's so happy you made the most of it. Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupa Lupin from setting the world on fire.
Antoro. Kensi. Temonu.
Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it.
Andro?
Your Muma says this is it. The time has come. She must fight Lupa Lupin. This time there's no escape. She can hear him coming.
Anaro lute.
Whatever happens, you need to know she loves you. And everything she's done has been to protect you, your Popsy, and those she was chosen to lead. Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on. Nothing gets past you. You could experiment with that. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulk's on the loose. doom. Running low. They've received news a Ronin had strengthened their ranks and were looking forward to meeting you. A group of myriad crusaders already headed out to Jagni's Mercadorpus outpost and are waiting for you there. You should hurry there and help them best the outpost. Not really. It's west of Bricktown. You can spot Gizmo's chug yard from the hill it resides on. Better not keep the crew... Look, an emergency box from the... Wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist. Feels like a monster's lair down here. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? That notice board? Filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one of those old Toxanol brick towns. Pay attention. The Toxanol Corporation made this place, and then just threw it away when they were done with it. Well, small ones. Places like this were cheap back in those days, and there was plenty of space. Get done with one place, you just build another. There must be a track somewhere in this brick town. Just hope it's not buried. Let's see. You'd better get a move on if you want to change things. Not this time. You found the track! Amazing it wasn't destroyed. So much of this place was just discarded. Lucky the track somehow made it. When Toxanol abandoned the place, it fell apart fast. Not too many like living in a ruin hole like this. Looks like the Fry Sparker's knobs need to be in sync if you want to get the hardware working. It's not the Fry Sparker that's the problem, it's what's put into it. You get the knobs in sync to make the hardware work. It's not the Fry Sparker that's the problem, it's what's put into it. You're not get the knobs in sync to make the hardware work. It's a Fry Sparker mindset. Boom, you got something. It's not exactly what you wanted, but you got it right away. Fate is funny that way, but it won't always make you laugh. A flush stool. Seems like the tighteners on the piping need to be unturned correctly to drain the flush stool. That's what you could call a wet disaster. You need to unturn the pipe tighteners to drain the flush stool. That's what you could call a wet disaster. You need to unturn the pipe tighteners to drain. That's what you could call a wet disaster. You need to unturn the pipe tighteners to drain the flush stool. That you need to unturn the pipe tighteners to drain the flush stool. That's what you could call a wet disaster. Nighttime is ending. Even harder to take you down. Your body could change. That ain't bad. perfect little cutter. You need to get the pegs lined up to get the clothes soaker rolling. You need to turn the pegs in sync. That's spiraled out of control. You need to turn the pegs in sync. That's spiraled out of control. Even here, the night still ends. You found the whereabouts, the deepest, darkest forest in the land, sometimes hard to see. For all the trees. dead yet. Go make the most of the day. Put a key in that. Looks valuable. Can't be too many days like this left at the rate the world is ending. close encounter. That's a resource totem, a monument left behind by those that picked scrap, trying to keep the area clean. Always good to have some wood scrap like that on hand. That's a Jagni tribe outpost. You can make so many amazing things out of wood scrap. Flash the slash. Mercadorpa's outpost, a Jagni tribe stronghold. Let's see.
Mashallah, mol.
Says it's time to set the outpost free. Inflict as little damage as possible as you make your way through to the rival captain.
Because le bu yula le.
If you can, you should try to convince the captain to give up the outpost and join your cause.
Mayokol kol male.
They're ready to enter the outpost when you are.
Uitatut.
Every step you take towards your end goal will bring you closer to a better world. Here's the first line of defense. That's a bomb lobber. That hit the spot, wrecked it. That twirly wheel works that drain pipe. Spin the twirly wheel and open that drain. Everything's clocking together. Stick in the key. Keep going. That cage is holding a helper. They never lost hope you'd come, but weren't sure if they'd last long enough to see it. Says the tribe's been hard on them. Won't hesitate to carve out some revenge on those who hurt. A sharpshooter. The scaffolding looks unstable. Better stay clear of the red ray. Here's the second line of defense. Red means danger. Timber. Bet a big bump will bring it down. Switched off the light. A barrel shoot. Smack it to get a barrel out of it, then hit it toward the gate and blast it. That looks splody. Shoot it and watch it blow. Not too close, though. Kaboom! You're in. Almost there. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger.
Radna.
Says you did a great job capturing the outpost. You've earned the privilege of carrying the tribe's weapon. Figures the honor belongs to the tribe, too. Out of Date says he's doing his best to keep up, but from what he can tell, it seems you're making progress with the tribe conflict.
Mayani.
He had a feeling you'd get along with the Myriad tribe, but it remains to be seen what the future holds for your alliance. You seem to share the same values as the Myriad tribe. You both have the same optimistic outlook on life. At least, for now. But out-of-date emphasizes that solving the tribe conflict won't matter unless you help make a stand against the Worldeaters. That doesn't sound good. Out-of-date's forebodings are justified. The jumbo puff needs to be taken care of.
Beboko contabe.
He says the time has come to confront the jumbo puff at the end of the west route.
Far come mako to far titaba.
Gizmo is working on making his mekton strong enough to endure the oxygen-deprived dead zone all the way out to the Worldeater.
Tuloya, voto lola.
You should get over there and see what you can do to help.
Palam bueno denke.
He knows things that you...
Brita.
understands you.
Tankand.
He knows things that you need to know.
Fare frame.
Didn't have much else. Says you should quit dancing around and just help bring the world to ruin with them.
Dawi?
Wants to know if...
Vopri prignambus nai.